Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you a new bracelet design. So yeah, let's go through the items. So the idea is I wanted to do a series of herringbone stitch because initially when I started a couple of years ago when COVID started and I started this channel, I had seen herringbone and I was like, oh, I don't know, like I don't know if I like that you can see some of the thread and stuff like that, or I like things to be uniform, so I would get like, something like these beads being off to an angle would stress me out. They need to be nice and tight together and stuff. Anyway, I've gotten over that and I've revisited herringbone and I want to share my excitement with you guys. So part of that is figuring out some new designs. So this one here, I don't have an example to show you, but the idea is we're going to start with one side, and let me enlarge this and let's see if I can get this lighting a little better. Oh, it just darkened it anyway. Okay, so the idea is we're going to start with the beginning and the end of the bracelet will be a piece like this. So it's basically when you're doing herringbone, to start out, you pretty much have to start with, I think they call it brick stitch. So the first two rows are a brick stitch, and then you start doing the herringbone, and you can see they kind of angle in a bit of a V. But when you go to do your next row, your thread comes out around. So that's why I did put out these delicas that kind of match these beads here. So these are Toho 80 rounds, silver lined milky white, and these ones are white opal silver line delicas 11 So you could do it the traditional way where you add a bead on the edge and it creates a bit of it looks a bit frilly to me, so I like that look, but I decided for this design I wanted it a little more elegant and sleek, because then once we have two pieces of this, we will do them separately. Then we're going to take these beautiful fire polished, let me see, I don't remember the name of these guys, but we are going to add a strand of each in between these sets of two. It's really, when you're doing herringbone, two here is considered one line. So we're going to put a strand at that one line across to the other piece. So and we're not going to attach them. They're going to be loose, but once you put it on your wrist, it will sit together. So we'll see how that comes out. So I did go ahead and do this one. So we're going to make one of these to attach to the toggle part of the clasp. And yeah, so I think we're going to try and do a 7.5-inch bracelet for a tester. So let's take a look. So I have some of my beads out. I am testing out my new gray size 6 dragon thread from Potomac Bead. And when I pulled it off, I am really excited about the color. I really like it. But this design in particular, because this is going to hold together all these beads, I wanted to reinforce it. So I have gone through a couple of times with my thread on certain areas, specifically the top, so that they're not like flippy floppy loose. And you can see the thread. It's not too bad from a distance, you can't really tell. So it actually conceals it pretty good. So I'm not sure about it yet, but we'll see once it's done how I like. I think if you were just doing straight herringbone, it wouldn't be a big deal. So let's start out. The other thing you're going to need is one of these Guardian wire guardians, and I attached it so that I could attach my clasp. So let's just put that there, those guys there. So I took about just short of an arm's length. You really don't need that much for that little piece. Now, if you take a look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 2. So that's 4 strands. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to start with 4. Somebody's horn is like going off on their car. That is so annoying. Don't they know I'm doing a video here? I'm just going to tilt this and I will enlarge that so you can really see. So grab 4, take these down to your... I heard my wife wandering around. I wonder if it was our car. I'm like complaining. Here. Oh, it's going again. So take your 4. You're going to go through the first 2. Like that. And you're holding a bit of a tail. You don't need much of a tail. I found that I ended up just weaving that tail in because there was enough thread left to add my clasp from the other piece. So, oh, I got tangled on the crystals here. Let's move this over a bit. And there, like that. Now you're coming out of here, you're gonna go back down here and that will straighten them out. Like that. If you're worried about them being flippy floppy, you can go through it again, but I think I'll leave it. Yeah, I think I'll leave it. Okay, so pick up 2, go, you're coming out of the bottom, you're gonna go up through the top and you're gonna go through both beads. And that will pop those in next to the other, like that. Pull that tight and then go back up through those 2. That. There. So it starts to line them up really nicely. And we'll keep going till we have 4 sets. So pick up 2, you're coming out of the top, you're going to go through the bottom. Like that. Then go back through the top and down to the bottom through both beads. That. Pick up 2. Coming out of here, you're going to go in through the top. And then you're going to reinforce it by going back through both. Pull it tight. I'm going to move my camera down. I feel like I'm reaching and I don't want to get out of frame for you guys. So pick up 2. Go through the bottom. And then go down through those 2 that you just added on. That. Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we need 1 more, which is actually 2 sets. Pick up 2, go down. That. Go up. Now pick up 2. These are your final 2. And you're going to go down both of them. Now this part's a little different, and this is a preference thing. So here's the thing, this string here, or thread, I hang on to help me hold on to this because there's not much there. Okay, so this one we're just going to go up 1, pull it tight, then go over. So take your thread and go over and then go up this one. And that's a way to avoid having to come out this way and add a bead. And what that also does is it straightens it out, which you may not want, but actually for this design, if you look at this one here, you see how they're kind of nicely lined up, rather than if you see this one, this last one is kind of tilted on an angle. That's how it should look, like these middle ones. But because we've done that turn, that special turn, it actually straightens them out. For this bracelet, I kind of like it that way because it's kind of, I wanted it straight, and then these strands are going to come off of it. So that's my rationalization. It's my bracelet. I can do what I want. Okay, so now we're ready to start doing the herringbone. Get that in my fingers. So just hang on to that. So we're coming out of here. We're going to pick up 2. And we're going to go down this one, this next one here. And they're a little tight, so there we go. Pull that through and just kind of nudge them so they're sitting like that. Then go over to the next bead and go up. For this first row, you kind of have to go up and down each of those, but you'll see when we get to the next ones, because they're on an angle, your needle will go through the 2 at the same time. So pick up 2. Coming out of here, you're going to go through the next one, and just that one, pop that in place there, and then go over to the following one, like that. Pick up 2, go down through this next one, pop those guys in, and go over to the next one, like that. There, so pick up 2 and go down. I am going to go down both. Right now there's only 2 there, and I'll show you why. So let's pop those in place. So now we're going to go up. I could have gone just the one, so this is a preference thing. So I'm going to go up the very next one like this. Pull tight. Then I am going to go back over to the end one, but down here, so straight across and up both, like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to flip it because we'll work right to left. So just flip your work like that, and now you're ready to add the next row. So for this one, I think I added 7. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we have 3. We need to add 4 more. So this is super simple. This is a really great way to practice your herringbone. If you don't like how it's sitting and stuff like that, then you can adjust it. So here, so we're coming out of this bead here on the very edge. We're going to go down through the next one, and you can see how your needle will set itself up to go through the next set. So pull that through, and again, you want to kind of get them sitting like that. Pick up 2. You're coming out of this bead, you're going to go through this one and through the next one like that. You can do it separately. Some people like to do it separately because depending on your tension, sometimes it will kind of tilt the bead below it, and you don't want to do that. So go through here and through this one. Yeah, you see how it's flipped it a bit, but I'm not concerned. I've embraced the V of the herringbone. Now pick up 2, go down 2 beads like that, that in, go over to the second one on the same level so your thread goes across and it'll be hidden. Pull that through tight. Now you're going to take your thread and it's going to go over to the first side like that. So always get your thread to go across to the next bead. Don't crisscross. I've done that. And then you can go up both like that. And then we will flip it and start our next row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 more rows. This is going to be like a super simple bracelet. So there you go. Let me get that. Well, that'll straighten out when we get going. And when I say straighten out, I mean crooked. I'll just keep going here. So let me know what you think if you've seen this design before. You know, a lot of my designs are not original designs. I will see something, it will inspire me, so then I go ahead and do something similar. So let me know if you've made something like this. I mean, it's endless what you can add in here. I think I'd like to do like maybe green beads here and then do all flower, check flower beads across the strand. That would be so cool. Maybe a Halloween one. I have some like pumpkins and some skulls. That would be so cool. So I should have gone down 2 on this one. Let me go a second one on the corner. And let me flip this. Get that one to sit down here. There. My finger's in the way. So there's the thread is right here. We're going to go up 1 on this one. Like that. And you can pull tight. Then you're going to cross over to the other 2 and go up those 2. Let's see if I can get in here. There, like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. So I'm flipping it over and get ready for the next row. I just realized this one here is really long, so you can see how it's kind of got a weird, oh well. Pick up 2, go through these 2, flip it, pull it tight, pick up 2. For some reason I kept picking up 3 when I was doing the other side. It's like, what's wrong with my bracelet? It's looking very bulky. Amazing what a tiny bead added to your design can mess you up. That. And go down 2. Okay, so we are down 3, so we're going to cross over to that third one in right next to it and pull that tight. And now we're going to cross over to the second one, but on the edge, and go through both. And this is our final row. Pick up 2, go through these 2, and nudge them into place and tighten that. Pick up 2, get across. And 2, that. Pick up 2. I'm going to go down 2. Oh, I missed the thing, so let's get out here. I missed the, oh, okay, we have to take it off the thread, the needle. When that happens, that's because you've crossed over a thread underneath. So let's pull this out here. There. Okay, let's get this back on. So I'm finding this, it's interesting, this size 6 thread I'm liking better than their green 6. I find the gray feels thinner to me. Let me check that. Okay, here's the green. Oh, it's a size 8, that's why. I ordered size 6 in the green and they were out of stock. So, okay, little commercial interlude. Okay, so let's go and make sure we go through both those beads. Let me do it that way. Pull that through. Pop those in place. Okay, so now this part we're going to do differently, because if you look at this, there's gaps between these. So we need to create the gaps, or like close up the gaps. We want this to be nice and like snug together because these beads are heavy. So let's go across. I'm going to go up and around just so that it straightens these guys out, reinforces them. This is up to you at this point. So I'm just going to do that. Then I'm going to go down. Let me see if I'm doing this right. My other thread's in the way. Yeah, I need to go down 2. I thought so. Go down 2. Like that. Okay. So now we are going to go up 1. Like that. Then go over to the next bead here. And then, oh, this is getting in my way. Pull that together. Go over to the next one. Then go down the next one. So you're just kind of lining up that. There. You can see it's starting to really bunch together. So if you get lost, just follow your thread. Just bring your thread straight across and like, okay, this is the one I need to go through. And then pick up this one. Get your thread there. And let's see if we can get that sitting a little closer. There. Now, I think this one, yeah, I left those ones on a V because then the fire polish will kind of sit in this little cup. But, so now we want to, we can tie off this thread and use this one for our clasp, but this is long enough and it's actually longer than the others, so I will use this one to attach my clasp. So now I'm going to cross over to this row here. So let me get my needle in there and go all the way down. That. Okay, I'm just going to turn this. So now we want to attach our, oh, you know what okay, I did. You want to attach your wire guardian to the middle 2 rows. So if you think we had 4 sets, here's your middle. So you want to attach it from here to here. So I'm just going to go up and down these bottom beads till I get to that point. So this is where we want to add it, but because we're going in the bead, we'll start it on the second one here. So here, and then we'll go up and around. Let me know if this magnification is enough to see what I'm doing. It looks a little bit small to me, but you know, that could be just the angle that I'm looking at. So pick up your wire guard, put it on your needle, and go down, and then come back around through the little tunnels that there is, and pull that down. Now, there's our middle 2 rows, like this. So there's 3 on this side, 3 on that side. So just go down this bead, and we will tighten it. There, like that. Pull it tight, like that. So now, and actually we can go ahead, let me bring this back out. This will save us 1 step. Not that we need to save steps. I already have all my stuff attached to the toggle. So let's go through the toggle, the last jump ring here, like that. You can, you know, open your jump ring later. So let's just, we're cheating. Don't watch Emma's videos. She cheats all the time. That's why I watch Emma's videos. Okay, so now we're just going to go through those a couple of times. So go up through that little channel on the wire guardian and through your chain. Pull that nice and tight. And then go down this tunnel and through that bead. And we'll go through one more time and tie it off. Just make sure your thread sits in this little channel. So one more time. Through. It starts to get tight with the thread, but I think I'm using a size 10 needle, John James needle, I think, and it's kind of small, so I don't know, it might be a 12, but the threading was pretty easy, so it makes me think it's a 10. And the reason I don't know is because I have a pin cushion, and once I take these out of the containers that are marked for the size, sometimes I can tell by the feel, but okay, so we have our thread. We need to tie it off somewhere nice and tight. So I think I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to bring it out to about here somewhere and tie a knot. So pull that down like that. So go over. Actually, I might go down to like this. And then I'm going to pick up a thread here and then wrap my thread around it twice and bring it close to the bead and then pull this through. It will create a bit of a knot that you can kind of, so it's kind of a messy knot, but pull it tight and see if you can get it down a bit. And then bring it through here. Let me see if I can, there. And pull it and you'll hide that knot. There. And then I'm just going to turn and go down the other side. And that's it. Pull that off. Cut this, and then we'll weave that end piece in. So there's our other piece. So let's get this on here. So yeah, these thread pretty well, and the thread stays in the needle, so they must be the John James. I find the other ones a little annoying. They slide off because the eye is too big. So because this was the thread at the bottom, I think it's stable enough if you just weave it in and out, but you might want to add a knot to it. So I'm just going to weave it in and out. And that should be enough. So now we have our clasp. So remember, when you're doing your bracelet, and I run into this a lot because I get so impatient, I forget to do it, is measure this part. So this is quite big. Let me see what we have here. And measure how it would sit. So with the toggle in, because that's how you would have it. So here's my ruler. So that's 3 inches. That's what I thought. So we're doing a 7.5 inch bracelet. So we don't need these anymore. Let's put those away because we're going to line up these guys and weave them in and out. There's my little tray. Okay. So yeah, 3. So now we need, we'll put those here. Set aside my needle. So these are 25 beads on a strand. So I'll give you an idea how much you're going to need. So we need 4 inches. So if you look, there's that. We'll just count how many's left on the strand. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 17 will give you your yeah, 17. So you need 4 sets of 17 beads that we're going to weave into the bracelet. Now for this part here, to weave this in, these are quite strong. You have options on how you want to weave them. Let me open this up. You can use wire, although using your wire will make it quite rigid, depending on what wire you have. And then you got to think, how are you going to keep your wire from coming off of your clasp? So I would prefer, and I have never done this before, so it's all a learning process. I just have my 4s here. I think I'd like to use a size 10-pound test of fire lines. Let me grab it. I have 8-pound too, so let's take a look at the 8-pound. Okay, so this is the white 10 or the crystal 10, and so I'm thinking this is what you want to use for this. It's actually pretty good. It's nice and kind of has a bit of hold to it, but it's still pretty thin. And then, oh, this is black, so this isn't going to work. Then we have this one here, which is an 8. And you know, this one's pretty stiff too. I think we should use an 8 because I am concerned we're going to go in and out of these guys to attach these, so I don't want a whole bunch of thread in there. It's going to get stuck. So where's my little sticky? I'm kind of excited about using this because since I started using dragon thread with Potomac beads, I have some that are still in the plastic container from the sporting goods store that were really expensive. So I'm kind of glad to be using them. So this part you're going to need a lot. Do you know what I think we should do? I think we should attach them separately, or at least do 2 strands separately, because if a strand breaks, then you're only going to have to pick up the 1 or 2 strands. If a strand breaks and you have them all together, you're going to lose them all. So yeah, so let's just do an arms width, kind of, maybe a bit more, a bit less. Cut that. You will probably need a bigger needle, so let me grab my bigger needle for this. Hopefully you don't have any problems getting through your 8/0s. I don't think so. So this is a cheap one from AliExpress. So the eyes are massive. Pull it through like that. Okay. So let's get these guys lined up. I'm going to pull. I'll start with 2 strands. I think what we should do is just count them out into piles, and then we know which one we're on. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. So there's 1 strand. And let's get these together. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. There's a second strand. 5, 10, 15, 16. 17, there's our third. And let's grab these guys. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so let's pull these apart, because we are going to go up and down these guys. So let's put my ruler aside, but I think we'll probably use it to measure. And I have my needle here somewhere. Put stuff over top of it. Okay, here we go. So now we want to attach our thread to one of these guys. So let me go up this middle one here. Oh yeah, this is quite thick. I wonder if it's the needle, but there's lots of room, so it's gonna go up. And let's hang on to that. I will probably cut that off. So go back down. Actually, I could probably bring it right to the edge. I'm gonna live dangerously here. So I'm just gonna bring my needle through here. I am gonna cross over to the other side and make a knot. So to find a thread. Like that. And just wrap it once, because this is quite thick, so you don't want a massive knot there. And pull it tight like that. And then go up And you are secure. That's not going anywhere. And pull it in there. So you can kind of see the white thread, but no big. Okay, so now let's, oh, the fun part. The easy part. Just thread these on. You could put some spacers if you wanted to, but I think they're just gorgeous the way they are. Let me see if I can get better lighting here. I am going to count 7 right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and there's 6. So that is my 17. And what we can do is once we have this on, we can actually measure it again to make sure we measured correctly. So bring that down. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay, let me move these little guys. And that's going to sit there. And let's flip it. Sit like that. Get my ruler out so you can see what I'm doing here. So we're gonna go to about here because you can't see the toggles, because the toggle will fit in here. So we're gonna go to about here. So that is showing me 7, and I want 7.5. Oh, I guess look, it's this. If we straighten that out a bit, I think we need to add 1 more bead to each. Yeah, let's do that. I want to make sure it's 7.5. So I almost took it out of that pile. What are you doing? So let's add 1 to each pile. 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you. So there you go. I talk about when you're doing stuff to measure, measure, measure. Here's another hint. When you set your needle down, I don't know if you can see that, but I set my needle down and I went to pick it up. It's in a knot. So always look at your thread when you pick it up again, because with this one you can easily see, but with some like fine threads, it's so annoying. You're like, how did I get a knot? Go to answer the phone, come back, there's a knot. It's the knot gremlins that are in there. So now let's go down this row. So you could essentially just go through a few. I think we should go through all of them, and then it's like super secure. Look at that. And then depending on how tight you make this, will give it some kind of leeway, make it loose, but I think you should go tight. So yeah, so I think we should go through it twice. That's why I was pausing here. So I'm going up through the other side. So let's go in a bit. I'm going up through the other side, and that one bead is kind of off to the side. Let me see if I can kind of move it so I can get my needle through. Otherwise, just do it in 2 steps. Yeah, I need to do it in 2 steps here. Like that. Pull through. Pull that tight. Go through here. And that way you also reinforce it twice through your beads. So now go back through your beads. The other thing you can do with this design is you don't have to put the same beads all the way through. You can do different beads. So you could put some silver ones as well. And just Go through all your beads. That. There. So with the amount of thread that I have, it may not go through 2 sets, but we'll try. So let's pull that through. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Okay, so now we're going to go down through the herringbone on the edge here. Go all the way in 2 pieces. There. That. Okay, so now we need to come out of this one here. So what we can do is go up 1, then go over to the edge and go up again, like that. And again, that will kind of reinforce it. Now we're going to go over to the second one and go all the way down. And that will set us up for the next strand. And I don't know. This is going to be cutting it short, so I didn't do quite a full arm's width, so definitely an arm's width would do 2 strands. So you can decide what you want to do at that point. There. Grab this guy. And now grab our next set. Let me just double check. 18, yeah. So let's get these guys on. So I have my desk that I put my project bins on is so full. And some of them are from a month ago, some are even longer. And I'm really excited to show you, but I just, the reason that my wife suggested I change my name from Emma DeVoe to Baby Squirrel Beading is I am such a squirrel. I go from one idea to the next. So I want to get that cleared off before I start my radiation treatment. So be prepared for some lightning speed beading. So I'm just looking, yeah, look at that. Oh, okay, so we're going to go up through this 3rd row. And this, when you're getting into the herringbone, so you might have to wiggle your needle up and down a bit. So and I'll see, we will just have enough thread to make a knot. So let's go around to the next row. And this one's tight because of the wire guardian, but I actually managed to get it through. Let's do this in parts here and pull that. Get through here. And then go through these guys. Through. And I'm going to extend my thread out. And you should move your thread anyway, because your needle will break or create a weakness in your thread. And you don't want to include that in your bracelet. So like these kind of areas. Here. And go through that 2nd row. I'm going to go through a few because I might put my knot here because I am totally running out of thread. on that. So there you go so far. Okay, let me put a knot right here. Make sure my thread is still in the needle. I've done that before. Pulled it through like, okay, I have a needle but no thread. So now go over to the next one here. Just going to go through two. I want to see how I feel about that knot, if I want to add another. Let's add another to the next row. Oh, I broke the needle. Okay, so let's just put this through. This is a AliExpress needle. Just so you know, I've done a review of them and like an unboxing as well, and they suck. Like, you can't be working through something and it breaks. Like, what the hell? That's crap. So, in case you were wondering what needle I had, so let's do the last two here. So one of the other things I saw was that they had done some where they twisted it. So you could get your two on, twist it, and then add your next two, but make sure you create the same kind of twist when you're doing them. So wrap your second one around the first one and then attach it. But I kind of like it side by side. But you have options. So let's take another piece of the 8-pound. I have like 6 things of thread. Can't figure out. So let's make sure I get a full arm span of this one. I don't want to run into that. Okay. Let me see if I can get this on the thin needle. Just try and make that a little flatter. Yeah, this might be a little sketch. Put it between your fingers and bring that around. It should go on, but this eye is pretty small. Look at that. Sweet. There. And let's get this knotted with my scissors so I don't get hooked up. Let's go in through, let's go in through this one. It's getting hooked on thread. Okay, I'm going to go to the one above it. There, let's go through here. Sorry, I'm off to the side. It's funny how that happens when I'm doing videos. It gets moved over. And part of it is the camera's over here and my desk is like over here. So I keep moving away so I can see what I'm doing because otherwise the camera's in the way. Okay, so I'm going to make a knot here. And I'm going to go all around all of them, like just once. Pull that through. And tighten that. There. Go up. I might as well go through all of them. And then down. I think I'm going to skip that last one. Here, let's go to here, because I couldn't get through there anyway. So let's do this. And cross over from that one I just went up. And that should be enough with the one knot and wrapping it around a few times. Okay, I have to do this in 2 steps here. That. And through these guys. Okay, I'm going to have to go through that one separately. And there. And let's cut this off now. Okay, we're ready to string iron and it's set. Let's get these guys. Just double check my count. There's 10, 5, and 3 makes 8. So start stringing these guys. There. This one looks funny to me. Just the way the light was hitting it, it looked like it was partially broken. I think that's called chipped. Ugh, I need help. There. So this is actually an inspiration. This is a bracelet for Diane, who sent me the friend mail and the Skittles, and she did a whole bunch of stuff for me. And so I am going to make hers, but when I realized this piece was too big, she has a 5 3/4 inch wrist. Mine is 6 3/4, and mine is so tiny. So I think I'm going to do hers shorter here so that she gets more beads. But so that's what this was inspired by. And I also have a bit of news. I am about 90% ready to release a video series. I'm not going to go through that one with the wire guard. It's really getting sticky in there. So I have an incredible design that I made for Kath from England for all the amazing stuff she sent me. And I feel terrible. It's taken me so long to get things completed. So stay tuned for that. I haven't decided how I'm going to release it. There is a video series. So it's an item that's going to go inside her jewelry box. And I haven't decided if I'm going to send it to her first, wait till she gets it, then release the videos, or do the videos and then she'll be anticipating the gift. Because it always looks so much better when it's in your hands rather than in a video. But we'll see. Let me know what you think. Would you prefer to see it in a video and then get it, or get it first? So, and you can chime in, Kath. So, I feel so bad. I have a problem finishing projects, and I'm doing my best to get a lot of stuff done before the radiation therapy. And between Kath and Diane, I am just like really need to focus and get things done. So the sternal look amazing. Amazing. It's very pretty. Oh, look, I'm just noticing as I bend it, it's very rigid, so you might want to give it a little more slack on your thread. Okay, so we're going to go up to the one before the end and then go down. And actually we're going to have to go over, so let's just go up one. Like that. Then go over, go down. Then I think I'll go up one. Oh, that didn't go in there. What I'm trying to do is line up so that I can get into here. So let's do, so now we're going to go down. This will take us to the N one, but then we can turn the other way. This is just getting a little bit difficult because the camera's in the way, so I can't grab it that well. Get that nice and tight. So now go up the side ones. There, we got it. And this is our final row. Okay, so let's get these guys over. Make sure we have enough. There's 10, 15, and 3. I like the clasp that I used for this one. I find this clasp, that silvery, flowery, so elegant looking. And almost done. So I think because these, when I kind of rolled it a bit, they're a bit stiff, I would probably suggest using a thread rather than a wire, because it does seem to be a little rigid. Okay, so we had gone up the end row on the other side, so we're going to go up the end row. Okay, I'll do this in 2 parts. It seems to be getting stuck. There. And back the other way. Ah, I knew that was going to happen. Stuck me. Darn needles. And then go through your beads again. There. And two. Okay, we'll do it in a couple of steps here. Okay, now go down like that. Okay, I think I'm going to put a knot here. do 2. Actually, that was just 1. Getting hooked on my bracelet. I don't wear bracelets when I'm doing videos. I don't know how some YouTubers do, because my thread gets hooked in them. Let me just go through a few here, and then maybe add another knot. We are set to go. Let me bring my needle through. Yeah. Bring it around and do a second time. Like that. Then go up. So the knot's right there. I'm going to go up these beads and we'll hide that knot there, and then just go down here and we're done. So I went down that one because it's getting tight, which means the thread won't come out. So let's put this off. Oh my gosh. So this is my leather bracelet that I made the other day. So let's take this off. Let's see what we have here. So it is, look at how it's it's getting a bit tight. And they feel loose. So just as a reminder to maybe make it a little bit looser on your thread. But actually, once it's done, this looks amazing. So I do think this area here, now I have a really small wrist, so you really notice it. But I think this area here, I added some chain, but you could probably attach it directly to your wire guardian. Because I think, now again, this is for a 7.5 inch wrist, but this looks pretty. And you could do this a little further as well and only do like a little kind of highlighted area in your crystals if you want to save on your big fire polished. So there you go. This is super easy to put on. Oh, they're really sparkly. Oh, there's that lovely bracelet. Ta-da! Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. That was super fun. I would expect to be doing some more. I was going to get ready to do one that was like Picasso, blue Picasso beads, turquoise Picasso, and do it a little more earthy tones, but there's a nice sparkly one. Take care. Bye.